Making a film is difficult, but you know what else is difficult? Not talking yourself out of making a film because it's difficult. Hey, I'm Alessio and I'm the director of Midges. You might have seen our trailer a few months back, but it wasn't just any trailer, it was a concept piece designed to help launch the full feature. Getting attention is half the battle in today's industry, especially for indie films, so we took that mindset into Midges. This trailer wasn't just about views, it was about getting a real response. We wanted to see how people reacted to our approach before moving forward, and it worked. The Midges trailer made national headlines, news sites, newspapers, podcasts, and even radio.
It's a kind of interesting tone that certainly the trailer strikes, isn't it? It's kind of horror, but it's also pretty funny. Are you aiming for a kind of new, kind of cult classic?
Yeah, I mean, ideally, yeah. Ideally, a blockbuster, but I'll settle for a cult classic.
The trailer quickly amassed over 1 million views across platforms and ignited a steady flow of engagement from the UK and beyond. One of our favourite reactions was when people assumed that this was already a fully financed studio film. And while that's an amazing compliment, the truth is this was made on a shoestring budget. This trailer happened because of the sheer passion and dedication of the cast, crew, and local studios all coming together because they believed in seeing more films like this made in Scotland.
Why would you not want to make a film like this? It's hilarious.
It's just so funny, and I love a good horror comedy, so it's right up my street.
It's an easy concept, and everybody's gonna love it.
So today I want to share some insight into how we made the trailer, what happened after, and what's coming next. We had been promoting the script for a year and already gained a little buzz when writer Barry Hutchison and I decided to make the trailer. And that was when Serena came on board.
So I'm Serena and I'm the producer of Midges.
I don't tend to do stuff that's this low budget, but I said yes because it was such a good idea. Like, it's such a good idea, and it is bonkers that no one's done this before. And I thought if someone else does it, I'll kick myself.
Since we were only shooting exteriors, the first step was locking in a location. We needed somewhere that felt like the remote Highlands, but was close to Glasgow, ideally with road access, toilet facilities, and somewhere for the cast and crew to rest. Shooting in Glasgow, unfortunately, wasn't an option. Big studio films had driven permit prices up, and the City Council introduced a flat fee system, making it not practical on our very, very, very small budget. They thought they were being fair by saying everyone pays the same.
Yeah, that's not fair.
Eventually, we found what we thought was the perfect location, Balloch Country Park. With location locked, we moved on to storyboarding with the talented Finlay Britton, who had worked on shows such as The Witcher and Rings of Power. Then we moved on to our tech recce, where Serena and I were joined by our assistant director and stunt coordinator. We ran through our various but modest stunts with coordinator Carter Ferguson, making sure that we had a clear and safe plan for our actors. Next up was casting. We put out the call and began narrowing down our top choices. For the actual production, cinematographer Gavin White and I agreed we needed to stay light and flexible. We wanted the maximum production value without inflating cost or slowing down the setup. The best way to do that was with the Ronin 4D and a set of lightweight anamorphic primes made by Chinese lens manufacturer Blazar. The 4D caught my attention when I saw it used on films like Monster and Civil War. It would give us Steadicam style shots, barrel rolls, handheld, locked off, and even remote operation all within one setup. That meant that we could move faster on set and still get the standard of visuals we required. We had 2 big crane shots and 1 Snorri-Cam style shot planned as well. A traditional crane wasn't possible, it would have been too expensive and needed additional crew. Luckily, Gavin used Stu Gray, who had built his own custom lightweight crane system. We tested the setup where we detached the 4D's camera head, strapped the body to the middle, and used Active Track to lock onto the actor, giving us the same results as a big budget crane shot at a fraction of the footprint and budget. Physically, we had 1 major prop in the trailer. At first, we looked into using a real flamethrower. Turns out Post Malone had shot a music video in Scotland using one, so we tracked down the supplier. But it quickly became clear from a locations and insurance standpoint, it wasn't going to happen. I remember the guy was just saying, yeah, you just can't walk outside and let it off. So instead, we decided to go the fake flamethrower route and cross our fingers, it would all come together in post. We decided to fix it in post, which we're never supposed to do. Enter Stephen Walker. Stephen and I worked together on the BBC pilot Islanders, and as I got to know him, I discovered he also creates high-end cosplay costumes and props. I told him what we needed, and he was confident that he could make a flamethrower prop that felt grounded and high-tech at the same time.
You got the stuff?
This is like a dodgy deal in a car park, man.
So that particular rubber mat was used on props in Star Wars.
With everything coming together, it was time for costume fittings and meeting the full cast.
Do you know what though? Being someone that's moved here from London, I do feel that I got duped into by my husband and not knowing what midges were, and that feeling of it for the first time. Oh my god. Me and you, Alessio, after this, we're going shopping for like all the repellent in the world.
At this point, we had the backing of incredible local companies, a top cast, and an incredibly supportive local crew. Everything was ready. Now it was time to shoot some midges.
Right, still guys, let's turn over please. We're rolling.
Speed. One, take one.
Yeah, just double check your shutter.
Yep, I got it, thank you.
No worries. Tell me your set up. Set, thank you. Okay, here we go. 3, 2, 1, action.
On July 23rd, 2024, production began. An ambitious one-day shoot on what ended up being one of the nicest days of the year in Scotland.
Nice for the cast and crew, not so good for what we're watching to film today. It's not supposed to be sunny, but I'll take it.
For us, it meant losing the moody atmospheric setting that was perfect for our film, and that wasn't our only problem.
We are in, had the one sunny day of the summer, so everybody's come out to play.
It was like Glastonbury for drunk teenagers. And I literally just remember trying to get all the lunches, and there was like a bunch of 14-year-old kids all trying to console each other while they're puking in the corner. I was just like, why is this happening? And it wasn't just like there was a few, it was thousands.
Midges are coming in a big red car. We're driving the way here now.
No one wants to relocate in the middle of a shoot, but by lunchtime we knew that we had to change plans fast.
We went deep into the forest to do the scene. It's actually worked out really nice. We've got this beautiful tree. It's very kind of Pan's Labyrinth.
These kind of unexpected on-the-day problems happen, and in the moment you have two choices. Let it be absolutely soul-destroying or see it as a happy accident. We still had a few obstacles to work around, but in the end, thanks to our fantastic team, we wrapped minutes ahead of schedule.
That is a wrap.
We got it.
Yeah, look, that was, I threw myself down mountains and hills today and survived, but just in the last shot there,
I can just see it.
Just see it's massive.
At this stage of my career, I spend way more time trying to get on set than actually being on set. So when I finally make it there, I cherish every moment. I breathe it in because who knows when it'll happen again. Once our editor Keir assembled the first cut, we realized there was a problem. The trailer felt more like a scene pulled from a wider film, which was fine, but the more we thought about it, the more we knew we needed something with more adrenaline to really grab people's attention. That's when we had the idea of flashbacks, intercutting scenes from a lab where the mutant midges are breaking free. A few more lab jackets, some fake blood, a small crew, some of who doubled as cast, and with the help of Podcast Studio Glasgow, we were back shooting extra footage to amp up the trailer.
I'm applying some emotion to my performance. Oh, there it is. Oh, I'm remembering. Oh, it's all coming back to me now.
Aside from that, we had two more inserts to film. A close-up of the scientist's legs stumbling through the forest. Stunt legs provided by Jamie McCall, who was originally shooting BTS on day one, but by this point had become part of the core cast. With our new cut, we had something way more exciting, which was then elevated by David McKetch's atmospheric sound design and Philip Curran's epic score. We absolutely lucked out in having Motive Studios come on board for VFX, creating shots like the midges swarm and the flamethrower effect. Thank God. Everything was then beautifully tied together by B Squared Post. Special mention to typography designer Kay Reel in Ukraine, who not only designed the midges title, but also done just about every title design on this channel, from Mama Ho-Ho to Mythic Picnic. And to Ronald Villegas in California, who created our amazing poster, with Scottish actor Jade McDonald stepping in as the character model. National headlines, over 1 million views across platforms with international engagement, and it didn't go unnoticed. This channel was nominated for Rhodes 2024 Creator of the Year Award. We were humbly recognised as part of the Scottish Cinema New Wave.
This is part of something that I find almost the most exciting of all of these things, and I call it the Scottish New Wave.
We've spent the past few months packaging the film, talking with potential financiers and studios with the help of more established producers and studios, and as a result, new doors have opened. It's been a slow process, which is why there haven't been many new videos recently, but thanks to everyone who helped make the concept trailer and everyone who watched, shared and voiced their support for indie film, we are slowly but surely making Midgies a reality.
I think there's a huge amount of genre talent up here that we don't really tap into enough or see enough. And everyone up here is super creative. So I think that hopefully that will encourage a lot more of this to kind of come out after this.
I was holding off in making this video until I had a more concrete next step to celebrate. It's no secret that indie films, especially genre films, struggle to get backing here. And that can be frustrating when you look at countries like Australia and Ireland, which have had massive success by embracing a wider variety of films. That said, we have another story that we can tell right now. A few years ago, Jamie McCall and I came up with a story which was a fresh take on folk horror. Something in the vein of The Wicker Man and Midsommar, but with humour, because this time it's told from the cult's perspective. It's a short film called Straw. A story that blends the earthy, primal horror of The Wicker Man with the comedic mishaps of a black sheep returning home. If Buddy the Elf grew up in a Scottish death cult instead of the North Pole. This is a film we can make on a much smaller scale, one that can hit festivals, grow our profile, and strengthen our position as filmmakers. That's why we're launching a crowdfunding campaign to bring it to life this summer. I'd love for you to check out the campaign. If it's something you want to be a part of, your support would mean the world. Even if you can't contribute financially, simply sharing the campaign makes a massive difference. This isn't a change of plan for Midgies, it's all part of the journey, and Straw is a darkly funny tale worth telling in its own right.
We hope that it's got a very, very wide appeal, that people, horror fans all over the world and comedy fans all over the world will love and relate to and think that it's good. I think it's got a wide appeal.
This is the first crowdfunding I've ever attempted, and honestly, I don't know how it will go, but I'd love for you to check out our campaign video, and with your support, we can make it a reality. Another step in the journey to Midgies and beyond.
I was actually hiking Ben Ann, very near here, and for the good first part of that hike, I swallowed maybe 4 or 5 Midgies. Because you can't speak. It's one of those things, you're just walking and you can't speak because they're gonna go right in.